if you have Apple products, you know the latest, some of the Apple products have become a little bit more expensive. And that is because of when it comes to supply chain issues on semiconductors. Now, Apple is reportedly testing Chinese-made memory chips for use in its flagship products as manufacturers contend with shortage on RAM. Now, the move could diversify Apple's supply chains, but may also attract political scrutiny in Washington, D.C., because you have Apple is reportedly evaluating Chinese memory chips, and that could be an issue when it comes to the Trump administration. But testing comes amid tightening global RAM supplies, and that has affected the pricing of some of the Apple products. When you also look at what it means for AI, infrastructure, which is absorbing growing quantities of advanced memory, there's memory shortages that are increasing the cost of smartphones, computers, and data center equipments. So Apple has not necessarily made a final sourcing decision, but any large Chinese chips order could raise US national security and trade concerns because technology companies have now spent years in trying to diversify when it comes to semiconductor supply chains after pandemic era shortages. If you recall, you couldn't get a new vehicle. If you recall, it really affected the entire supply chain during the pandemic era. But now, at the same time, you have Washington, D.C. that has restricted China's access to advanced chipmaker technologies, while China has invested heavily in building its domestic semiconductor capacity. So when Apple, as one of the largest American companies, is looking at Chinese semiconductors, that's going to be an issue with Washington, D.C., because, well, the latest development is that Apple has reportedly tested and illustrated that this is going to be a case where you're taking a look at what would be a commercial value. It's going to have very sensitive geopolitical issue when it comes to China versus United States in this AI race, and more specifically when it comes to hardware that backs this AI race when it comes to data centers as well as equipments on semiconductors.